Reading multiple Python pickled data at once, buffering and newlines. To give you context, I have a large file F, several gigs in size. It contains consecutive pickles of different objects that were generated by running for obj column pickle.dumpobj, F. I want to take advantage of buffering when reading this file. What I want is to read several picked objects into a buffer at a time. What is the best way of doing this? I want an analog of redline's buff size for pickled data. In fact, if the picked data is indeed newline delimited, one could use redlines, but I am not sure if that is true. Another option that I have in mind is to dump the pickled object to a string first and then to write the strings to a file, each separated by a newline. To read the file back I can use redlines and loads. But I fear that a pickled object may have the \n character and it will throw off this file reading scheme. Is my fear unfounded? One option is to pickle it out as a huge list of objects, but that will require more memory than I can afford. The setup can be sped up by multi-threading, but I do not want to go there before I get the buffering working properly. What's the best practice for situations like this? Edit. I can also read in raw bytes into a buffer and invoke loads on that, but I need to know how many bytes of that buffer was consumed by loads so that I can throw the head away.
File.redlines returns a list of the entire contents of the file. You'll want to read a few lines at a time. I think this naive code should unpickle your data. If you have any control over the program that generates the pickles, I pick one of. Use the shelved module. Print the length, in bytes, of each pickle before writing it to the file so that you know exactly how many bytes to read in each time. Same as above, but write the list of integers to a separate file so that you can use those values as an index into the file holding the pickles. Pickle a list of k objects at a time. Write the length of that pickle in bytes. Write the pickle. Repeat. By the way, I suspect that the file's built-in buffering should get you 99% of the performance gains you're looking for. If you're convinced that I/O is blocking you, have you thought about trying map and letting the OS handle packing in blocks at a time?
You don't need to do anything, I think.
If you want to add buffering to any file, open it via io.open. Here is an example which will read from the underlying stream in 128k chunks. Each poll to pickle.load will be fulfilled from the internal buffer until it is exhausted, then another chunk will be read from the underlying file.
You might want to look at the shelf module. It uses a database module such as DBM to create an on-disk dictionary of objects. The objects themselves are still serialized using pickle. That way you could read sets of objects instead of one big pickle at a time.